You are listening to 100 Days of EPT, a podcast I developed for you to easily access targeted forgiveness and affirmation statements that will support you changing your life for good. I'm Sherry Hamilton. EPT is short for Emotional Polarity Technique, an innovative holistic emotional therapy. I've been practicing EPT for over 20 years, and I've helped hundreds of people get through some tough mental, emotional, physical challenges. You can contact me for private sessions or private retreats for your unique healing challenges at eptworkshuntsville.com. "100 Days of EPT, Day 27, I show up." Think and speak aloud, I show up. To get anything you want in life, you have to take action. The first action you must take is to show up. If you are an overeater like I used to be, then a part of you isn't showing up when you are power eating a dozen donuts. When you can show up with all of yourself in the present moment, then you are able to say no to hurting yourself that way. While you go through the statements in this mini EPT session, become aware of where you aren't showing up. Make a decision to show up for yourself in good ways so you can be your best self when you show up in all your relationships, including food and people. And I know that if you are out of balance with a useful and needed item like food, then when you show up honestly with food, it will bring up your issues with people. Everything we do is about relationships with God, with ourselves, and with others. It's time for you to show up. While thinking, I show up, place one hand over your heart and one hand over your forehead. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Repeat, taking 2 more deep breaths in and out. Remove your hand from your forehead. Hold one hand over your heart with your thumb under one collarbone and your 4 fingers under the other collarbone. Gently rub spots below collarbones while speaking the following statements. Take a deep breath in and out after you speak aloud each statement. I deeply and completely accept myself even when I'm afraid to show up. I deeply and completely accept myself even when I'm afraid to show up in my life now. I deeply and completely accept myself, even when I'm afraid to pay attention now. I deeply and completely accept myself, even when I'm afraid to believe I show up and experience showing up. I deeply and completely accept myself, even when I'm afraid to let go of my disconnection from showing up. I deeply and completely accept myself, even when I'm afraid it's all my fault. I deeply and completely accept myself, even if I don't deserve to heal my disconnection from showing up. I deeply and completely accept myself, even if it isn't safe for me to heal and accept I show up. I deeply and completely accept myself, even if it isn't safe for others for me to heal my connection and show up. I deeply and completely accept myself, even if it isn't possible for me to heal and show up. I deeply and completely accept myself, even if I won't allow myself to believe and experience. I show up. I deeply and completely accept myself, even if I won't do what is necessary to know and experience. I show up. I deeply and completely accept myself, even if getting over my disconnection from showing up will not be good for me or for other people. I deeply and completely accept myself, even if I have a unique block that prevents me from connecting with my experience, that I show up. I forgive myself for believing I can't show up. I forgive myself for believing I can show up. I forgive myself for believing I can't pay attention when I show up. I forgive myself for believing I pay better attention when I don't show up. I forgive myself for believing I can only pay attention when not showing up. I forgive myself for believing I can't tell the truth that I show up. I forgive myself for believing I can tell the truth that I show up. I forgive myself for believing I can't let go of expectations that left me distracted, disconnected, and not showing up. I forgive myself for believing I can let go of expectations and experiences where I believed I saved myself by not showing up. I forgive myself for believing because I can't change my past experience, then that means I can't change how I feel about my past experience. I forgive others for teaching me not to show up. I forgive others for hurting me. I forgive others for what they cannot do for me now. I forgive others for what they have done that caused me to disconnect from showing up. I give others permission to forgive me for showing up now. I give others permission to forgive me for telling the truth now that I show up. I give others permission to forgive me for letting go of my past hurts and expectations and connecting to my experience. I show up. Without the need to carry on my disconnection from showing up, I'm free to show up. I'm free to let go of my disconnection for a new experience and connection to showing up. I'm free to learn what it takes for me to pay attention and show up. I'm free to believe I am safe showing up. I'm free to allow others to show up. I'm free to experience showing up with pleasure and happiness and gratitude. I'm free to show up in relationships that last. May you be blessed today with a thankful heart, healing of your pain, and comfort through your trials. May you experience your life and your connection to others with belonging and safety. May you know that you matter. May you show up in peace, trust, and friendships that last a lifetime. May you see, know, and act on good with all your heart, all your mind, and all your strength. Thanks for listening.